Today I'm going to give the 411 on Chuba Hubbard for Texas fans and let y'all know about the dark horse for the Heisman Trophy and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, I'm going to tell you what Chuba Hubbard's doing. Now, we got professionals, folks that get paid to talk about sports on the radio, on the television, in all matters, talking about things like Chuba Hubbard is challenging Barry Sanders. And wait a second, full stop. No, he's not. No, he's not. But I'll tell you who he is challenging that actually going to incense OU fans, but we're going to get into that. I need to break this down because Barry Sanders is a unicorn. All right? Just because he and Chuba Hubbard wore the same, nasty orange does not mean that they're in the same stratosphere, okay? Let me get this to you. Let me get this to you right quick. Barry Sanders averaged 238 yards a game. Averaged, okay? Chuba's gone over 238 in a game one time. One time. It was cool. I was there. I saw it, but it was one time. Barry averaged 238. Let me give you some more numbers. His first 3 games of his Heisman Trophy winning season, 1988, Barry Sanders, 18 carries for 178 yards versus Miami of Ohio. 20 carries for 157 against Texas A&M. 33 carries for 304 yards against Tulsa. Okay? Barry carried the ball over 200 yards 7 times in one friggin' season. He carried it for over 300 yards 4 times in that same season. He had 37 touchdowns. 37. Okay? Even right now, your boy Chuba is on pace for 28. Okay? Average 7.6 yards per rush on 344 carries, just 5 more than Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson is important here, but I want to underscore this, okay? Barry Sanders was the offense at Oklahoma State. There was no Spencer Sanders. There was no Tylan Wallace. They kind of sort of had a defense, but not really. Just ask Nebraska what happened in that game, all right? But when you talk about Barry Sanders, only talk about Barry Sanders. Don't put other people in the stratosphere with Barry Sanders. He is a cut, as they say, above. But Chuba Hubbard is chasing Adrian Peterson in his 2004 season, the one where he went for 1,900 yards rushing. Yeah, he that good. Check this out. In AD's first 3 games of the 2004 season, my man went for first 3 games. Then we'll get 200 yards. 16 carries for 100 yards versus Bowling Green State. 25 carries for 117 yards versus Houston. 24 carries for 183 yards versus Oregon for 400 total in 3 games. It's really good. He had 3 200-yard rushing performances that season, and each time he carried the ball at least 32 times, right? He carried it 32 times for 225 yards against Texas, carried 33 times for 249 yards against Oklahoma State, 32 times for 240 yards against Baylor. Total, 339 carries for 1,925 yards, 5.7 yards per rush, 15 total TDs, okay? That's AD, right? That is the best tailback that I've ever seen in my entire life, okay? That's it. Now, talk about Chuba and what is coming for you, Texas. It's the big play back. First game against Oregon State, 26 carries, 221 yards rushing. Goodness me. Then McNeese State didn't really need him anyway, 8 carries for 44 yards. And then against Tulsa, afternoon game, I was there for that. I watched that man carry the ball 32 times for 256 yards for a grand total through 3 games of 521 yards. That's 7.9 yards per rush. That's 7 TDs, okay? So he's already well on his way to over 2,000 yards rushing this season and eclipsing what AD was able to do in 2004 at Oklahoma. The same AD that forced Bob Stoops out of the air raid and toward an I formation because he's that talented a tailback. That's what's coming to the University of Texas on Saturday. Chuba Hubbard is the goods. Charlie Dickey has that offensive line humming. I love Marcus Keys. I like Johnny Wilson. I watched those dudes impose their will on Tulsa, okay? And Texas fans are like, yo, man, this ain't TU. This is UT. And I'm like, I get that. But Tulsa is one of the best defenses in college football. They walked in with a number 29 ranking in defensive efficiency when they faced Oklahoma State. And by the way, Spencer Sanders didn't look good to me, all right? I know there's a lot of people that want to anoint him, and I still think that he could be one of the 3 really cool dudes at Oklahoma State, and they are the best triplets playing football right now, right? They're the most fun at the very least between Spencer Sanders, Tylan Wallace, and Chuba Hubbard. But Tulsa told Spencer Sanders, we're going to play man, and we dare you to beat us. And you know what? He really couldn't, because the 90-yarder that Tylan Wallace took to the house, you read that. If you saw it, you saw that he beat the man, he made the play, and he took it to the house, right? Reggie Robinson also picked off Spencer Sanders. They bullied the wide receivers. They were in there chilly. Tylan Wallace is like Novocaine. Just give him time. He always works, but didn't nobody else beat up on him, right? I'm telling you that if you force Spencer Sanders to run the ball, you're in the best position to win the game. And I think that Todd Orlando has seen enough of Tylan Wallace that maybe he's going to be able to dial up something. We will see. But Spencer Sanders and Chuba Hubbard are enough to beat you in Austin. I don't know if the defense is enough to keep pace with Texas' offense, but that's what we're going to see. I think that Chuba Hubbard, though, could easily go for 150. And that's the guy. Because if you stop Chuba Hubbard, you stop Oklahoma State's offense, because Spencer Sanders would be forced to throw the ball 30 times. And I don't see that dude throwing the ball 30 times for 300 yards. I just don't see it. Not against the Texas defense. However, I also picked Texas to win this game and to stop this losing streak of 5 consecutive losses to Oklahoma State at home. I know it's on their minds. I also know that Texas has its back against the wall, because you got the 1L. It's as they say, a quality loss, such as it is. But you can't have 2 and reach the heights that you want to reach. It's going to be really hard for you to get to the Big 12 championship as well, even with a loss to Oklahoma State. And that's assuming that you could go in there and do what I don't think you can do, which is beat Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry. But it doesn't matter if you don't beat Oklahoma State. I think Texas has way more on the line than Oklahoma State does. Texas thinks that it's supposed to be in the college football playoff this year. Oklahoma State is got a redshirt freshman quarterback in his first season as a starter, still taking snaps. Okay? You got some things to work out with Jim Knowles' defense, and I don't really know that you have a second option at wide receiver like I thought you might. I get that people like Jordan McRae. I get that you might like C.J. Moore, but we'll have to wait and see about how that turns out. Plus, can L.D. Brown really spell him like that? We'll wait and see against this Big 12 defense that I think that is better than what they showed against LSU. And even then, it wasn't like they didn't get their licks in. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.